Hi there, I'm Katy Churchill and welcome to my YouTube channel. Gonna start a little series here called Awkward Sex with Katy Churchill. I mean, we've all had some awkward sex, right? Well, I've had a little more than average. So let's talk about that now, shall we? Now, to prevent embarrassment for any of the parties concerned, except for me. But y'all know I'm cool with being embarrassed because my life is basically lived between embarrassing moments. I've changed people's names and any kind of other identifying details to prevent shame, I guess. I don't know. I'm telling you, and some of this embarrassment was all down to me, so let's go ahead. I could do a big introduction where I talk about how long I'd been seeing the person and how we had a really meaningful connection and all that crap, but let's just get right into it. Now, this is not going to be a salacious, round peg, round hole kind of graphic description. You can pay for those kind of videos. So I'd been seeing this guy for a while and things were fun, and he was very tall. He was an athlete, not a basketball player, but tall as hell, like 6'6" to 6'8", somewhere in there. So really freaking tall. And he was very used to having to, duck his head to go under things designed for normal sized people. And I was in university at the time, and I was living in like a little townhouse, and we spent a lot of time at my place because he had a car and I was in university, also known as broke, and didn't have a car. So he would drive to my place, and it just seemed like a lot of work to have him drive to my place and then drive back to his place. And let's be honest, he was like a 19-year-old male. His place was a fucking dive. And I mean, I've been some shady places, and I am not the cleanest and tidiest girl. But if your socks are older than the milk in your fridge, that's where I draw the line. So he'd come to my place a lot, and as you do in your place, he'd fuck in my bed, right? No big deal. But he liked to be on top. And he was extremely energetic, like really like up on his knees kind of thing, not like just sort of lying on top doing the awkward hip hump. Guys, lying directly on top of me, it makes it really hard to breathe. I know you don't think you weigh that much, but you do. Anyway, also, come on, don't squish these tits. They're so pretty, why would you want to squish them flat underneath you? So we were, mid-solid pounding, and his head hit one of the bookshelves that I had on the walls, and they were, the kind with the brackets that stick out and then the shelf on the top, as opposed to like an actual piece of furniture. Well, said shelf was loaded with heavy physiology and anatomy textbooks, and they knocked him unconscious when they fell on him. Now, I'm a substantial girl these days, but at the time, I weighed about 130 pounds soaking wet. And a very large guy. I mean, he was built, okay? This was not a string bean 6'6" kind of guy. And he just, broke in the shelf, first of all, with his big thick head. But he'd just been literally knocked flat out on top of me. At first I thought he was fooling, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's enough. Then I had the moment where I went, oh my God, he's dead. He's dead. He's lying on top of me. He's dead. What do I do? So I did what any other girl would do. I phoned a friend. Namely, I phoned my roommate. So I called Caitlin, and I was like, we have an issue. Jack he's been knocked out. And Caitlin, with her natural, let's see what I can do, was like, oh my gosh, do we need to call an ambulance, whatever? And I said, no. I said, but I'm kind of trapped with him. Now, Caitlin is a really sweet girl, but she is very, very religious. And I love her to pieces, but very religious. So, so I said, I'm trapped. I said, I need you to come into my bedroom and help me. So she came up the stairs and turned the doorknob and said, "It's locked." And I said, "Yeah, about that." I said, "I need you to take the doorknob off." And so she took the doorknob off. She was still talking to me on the phone, by the way, because apparently shouting through the door was not a thing we thought about. So we're on the phone, and I said, and so she started to push the door open. I said, "Just so you know, we're naked." And with the door about a quarter open, Caitlin said, "I've never seen a naked man before." What do you even do when this happens? Okay, I'm lying there naked, I'm pinned down by a very large guy and a whole shit ton of books, and the person coming to rescue me has just informed me she's never even seen a naked guy. And she's about to see a naked guy who happens to still be anatomically involved with me. Top points to Caitlin for being a trooper. She came in, we dragged Jack off of me, which is it's less hot than it sounds. Like, if you can imagine, if you stick two colors of Play-Doh together and you pull them apart, that weird sound it makes, that's the sound of pulling apart two people. Because, I mean, we were sweaty, we were stuck, oh, it was bad. However, I've never seen a girl make so much eye contact with a dick in my life. Like, she looked straight at his dick from the moment she pulled us apart, and that's the only place she looked. We, like, pulled him off of me, kind of propped him up on his side, you know, recovery position. We all learned that in university, right? So, yeah, we kind of propped him up on the side. I went and had a shower because I'd been lying underneath a dead weight for about 10 minutes. We left a note next to Jack just in case he woke up. And we went downstairs and started drinking because she'd just seen a naked man for the first time in her life. It was probably the first time she'd ever seen a naked woman who, like, wasn't in her family or accidentally spotted at the pool. Although she was one of those girls who would go into the bathroom cubicle to change at the pool. In fact, I'm pretty sure he is probably still the only man she's ever seen naked. I mean, at least she saw a good physical specimen. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It just kind of warms your heart to know that the first time someone saw a naked man, it was because they were helping you physically peel an unconscious body off of you. Mid-fornication. It's embarrassing, but it kind of warms my heart. Oh, and when Jack woke up, he definitely just read the note and came downstairs fully naked. And I said, "You know, you could have put some pants on." He said, "Well, the note said you saw everything." Fair dues. So he sat naked on the couch and had a beer with us. It was a little weird. I'm a very weird roommate. It's kind of why I live alone with a cat. So, that's just one of the many, many awkward sex stories I have. And you should probably see more every other week or so on here. I wrote down 12 without even stopping to think or ask anyone I know if they recall any awkward stories, so this could be a long-running series. And I'll just have to keep going out and having sex on the off chance it turns out to be awkward so I can share it with you. Oh, finally, I have an excuse for being a slut. YouTube, why did we not get in bed together earlier? Catch you next time. Mwah. Oh my god. This is YouTube, but this is not like Subway ad YouTube. There we go. That's better. I had the like little fix-it kit that everybody's parents gives them when they move out of the house for the first time, and your parents think you're actually gonna be fixing shit and not just like using the screwdrivers to push the cork down into the wine bottle when you don't have a corkscrew. I'd been banging this guy. That sounds terrible.